Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your second or third time here, that's awesome because it's my second time here too, doing an informational video on how to get your CDL. Ooh, CDL is commercial driver's license. We'll get into that. I always like to tell you what the acronyms are to show that I kind of know what I'm talking about. But once I say keynote, highlight, or pay attention, that means it's 98% fact, okay? 98% fact. You know, when you're trying to joke here and there, you know, things may come out wrong and quoted, you know, unfairly or whatnot. Speaking of that, disclaimer, I am not a CDL. I'm very ashy, as most truck drivers can be if you don't do the right thing because of everything you touch, fuel pumps, etc. No, I'm sorry. I can't speak for all truck drivers out there. Me, I get very ashy no matter how much lotion I put on. In August, I do. Okay, now that we put that out there. Okay, disclaimer, I am not a CDL instructor. I am not the your state, you know, commercial. I'm not your state's operating, you know, CMV, like none of that. I am not an FMCSA. FMCSA, we'll get into that, is the type of school or the type of, can't really do this online because of the skills part, but wherever you get your CDL, they have to be approved by the FMCSA. We'll get into that soon. Okay, so I'm not that. I'm just gonna tell you what I did to get my CDL and the basic knowledge that I know. I usually tell you my videos are gonna be between 5 to 10 minutes. We might go 12 minutes because this is a little bit heavy and in-depth. Let's go with the basics. No marijuana. As much as we would love to get into that, none. They will do a hair follicle test most places before hiring you, before giving you your CDL. Don't waste the money. Don't do it. Go about 3 to 4 months and then never, basically, at the moment, 2022, end of August, smoke weed like that, like at all. Okay, that I know for a fact. For my CDLs, like, I've seen my class started with 45 people in the beginning of a 7-week period and ended with about 7, and about 20 of them was drug use. And then the other ones are basic things that we're going to talk about right now. Let's get into it. So to get a CDL, you got to figure out what class. There's a class A, class B of the commercial driver's license that you want to get. Now, commercial driver's license meaning that you want to be able to operate a large vehicle, whether you have placards or you're able to carry hazardous material. Basically, it's going to be used. It's a vehicle that you're going to be driving for commercial reasons, for business reasons. Okay, that's basically what that means. Now, commercial motor vehicle, CMV, CDL. So you want to be able to have a driver's license to operate a commercial motor vehicle, basically. Okay, now that we said that, okay, 4 minutes, not cool. You'll need I can't stress this enough, a valid ID. You'll need, if you're doing this in the United States, because I understand there are CDLs in Canada, there's some in Dominican Republic. In the United States, where I got mine, you'll need a place of residency. Depending on your place of residency, it also tells you who can hire you, where you can work, depending on your experience and your place of residency, which we'll talk about in 2 weeks on my other video of how to get hired, right? So, what you'll need your ID, proof of residency, and you basically, you'll need those 2 things. Then you, of course, need to be healthy, right? Because you have to be able to pass a physical exam, because obviously, you know, you're sitting like it's not a healthy career, you know, unless you got things lined up, which I've done, which I'll also do a video on some things that you can do if you're over the road of how to stay healthy. But yeah, so you'll need to be able to pass a physical, right? You'll need your school hours, like you, depending on the school, right? And the school has to be like an accredited school. Like me, for example, I lost $2,000 that way. I'm not gonna say which school in the state that I currently live in that I lost $2,000 from. It's okay. It's not okay, but whatever. It was during COVID. You couldn't get an instructor. You couldn't get an appointment. You couldn't do anything. So lesson learned. Make sure that school, you research it to the fullest. So I ended up going with another big school, which I probably won't name right now. I will name certain schools that are very good on getting your CDL, and then you work for them or you pay them up front, and then you can get the training that you need, because you're going to need the training. So, okay, back to it. The first thing you're going to need is a permit, right? First thing, very first thing. How do you get your permit? The best thing you can do is get an app, right? There's a bunch of practice quizzes on an app. That's what I did. And BTW, keynote, you do not have to know. I know people say you have to know about transportation. You have to know what a lug nut is. You have to know what a water pump is. No, before I became a truck driver, I was working in a retail store for 15 years of my life. Now, I must say it is a nice move. Like it's wonderful. It's, you know, it's not that great on my arms because of the wheel or whatever, you know, heavy duty hitting the brakes. I mean, your feet get a little numb, you know, from the circulation, but there's different things you can do to help that. I also have a video on that. We'll be putting that out to you in November, because usually that's when you kind of suffer with the winter time, in and outs, you know, what's the proper way to heat your feet up, your toes, whatever. I'll get that going for you. Either way, let's get back into it, staying on subject. You get the app to do your studying, your basic studying. You're gonna need to pass 3 things from, depending on your state. Now, depending on your state, you definitely need to pass the skills part. Skills meaning you have to know how to drive anything, first of all. And then they make you learn some skills in backing, whether you do, you know, a straight line back, a 90-degree back, which we'll get into that later on in my other videos. You're going to need to pass your skills. You're going to need to pass your general knowledge. You're going to need to pass your air brakes. You're going to need to pass, well, not necessarily your hazmat for my state, but depending on what state you're in, there's a lot of things you got to pass. But before you do that, get the app. There are certain apps. CDL Prep is usually what it starts with. I know mine was an orange one with the United States, 50 states, and a truck. That was the image on my, either your iPhone or your Google Play Store, whatever. Get that. Study. If you know nothing about trucking, get the app, study, take the practice test. Once you start getting 180s on your practice test, then you schedule an appointment at your DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles in your state, to go take, you know, some tests. You pay for those. Sometimes the first couple ones are free, and then if you fail them a couple times like I did, then you end up paying a bunch of money. But I'm telling you, it's a dangerous, very dangerous, let me put that out there, industry, but it's so lucrative, and we will talk about the money. I am allowed to talk about my money because I get paid that, but we'll get into that later on in another video. But it's you know, even the percentage for females right now, 10 minutes, we'll get into that later. A lot of females are turning into to this industry, so it's never too late to get your CDL, just know that. And then with your CDL, there's nothing new under the sun, and if you don't be surprised if it's not gonna be the first time you do something, make a mistake or whatever. It's not gonna be the last time, and I'm sure your instructors or whatever, they're not surprised. So don't like I said, don't worry. And if you don't know anything, the school you go to will help you, will literally hold your hand, choose a really good school, research the schools and choose them. But you basically need, like I said, your IDs, choose a school. they start for anywhere from, I can't quote money, $2,000 all the way up to $15,000. I paid $8,000 for mine. I didn't pay it cash right away. I worked for that school for about 4 months. They took, cents out of my check. I probably am still in debt a couple $1,000. It's probably on my credit somewhere. Roaming around, I still probably got $2,000. I can't say the particular school, but I couldn't do it no more. After my training, I literally could not do it no more. I changed companies, and I'm doing so much better now. So, but that school, I cannot say nothing bad about the school, about the training. It was a phenomenal. The instructors are phenomenal. But yeah, so you'll get your permit. You'll do your practice test, then you'll get your permit from the DMV. Once you get your permit, it lasts about, some states 30 days, some states 6 months, some states 9 months. I'm not sure. I can't quote you on that. Once you get that, do not procrastinate. 9 months goes like this. So once you get your permit, boom, get your CDLs. Your CDLs, meaning once you got your permit, it means that you pass some basic tests and you know what you're doing. Then you go get your CDLs, which means you could drive a truck, you could reverse, you could do a 90, blah, blah, blah. You'll have the school sign off on your 3 skills test or whatnot, however many they do. Then you go to that DMV, your state DMV, to get your CDL for them to print it for you. Then, of course, you'll need before you even go to that school, you'll need a physical. And most schools, if they're paying for it for you, and if they're paying hotel stays for you, they usually send you to different physical places. You don't have to worry about that. Usually they take care of that. If not, there's certain states that have them, like in a walk-in area. You can Google it. You'll see DOT. It's called DOT physicals. You'll need that. What else? So I told you about the medical. You need the schools, the skills, the fees. All the fees for you to get your CDLs, the fees for you to go to school, your medical card. Oh, and you do have to pass a vision test, which everybody, because you got to be able to see, to drive. I'm sure that's a given. Of course, the school has to be FMCSA, like, a good school. 13 minutes now. Again, the written tests consist of general knowledge, air brakes, and missing the other one, but it'll come up on your app. I recommend you Google CDL prep apps, CDL prep, and then it'll get you going. Before you register for school, you need the, what do you call it? Not the license, but you need the permit. Once you get that permit, you can register to schools or whatnot. In some schools, if you go to them, they probably get you set up and get that permit right there online. Okay, also, keynote, highlight. You need to know basic traffic signs. Like if there's a language barrier, mind you, I speak 4 languages. You need to have a basic driver's license. The same steps of how you got a driver's license, that's how you're going to get your CDL. If you don't know what a stop sign looks like, sorry to break it to you, but this is probably not what you want to do. Also, if you're afraid of heights, like I was, if you are like afraid of driving at night, if you do not like traffic, well, listen, it's gonna get better, because those are 3 things I did not like. But right now, what? Bro, I would rather drive at night. And I can handle traffic, because I'm telling you, I have 4 playlists. Boo. My playlists are the bomb diggity, okay? And then heights. Hello. You are in the most protected vehicle. Your vehicle weighs how many thousands of pounds? Bro, like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Just follow the yellow brick road, literally. And you'll be good. So do not let anyone stop you from achieving your goals and dreams. And thanks for watching. Sorry the video's so long. Love you guys.